So hi, welcome to the Good Noise Podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with.
I'm Hank.
I'm Axel. We're in the band called Homes at Night.
All right, some questions to say about the upcoming EP, If You Were a Stranger. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the announcement so far?
I think we feel pretty good. I don't really know. I guess I've kind of had my head in the sand a little bit with it. We're like already on to writing and working on the next EP. So this was an EP that was made in the heat of the pandemic. So for us, it's like we've been sitting on it for a while, and I think that yeah, I don't know we're ready to move on with the next one, but we're happy about this.
Fair enough. Well, the EP rocks.
Oh, it bangs.
Yeah.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
Thank you, guys.
Of course.
I think it's maybe just to like tack onto that. Sometimes it's hard to like fully enjoy the moment when we were making this EP like 2 years ago now. It was like that was like all we were doing. It was, pandemic summer. So we were just writing songs together all the time. And we were just like, oh, we have all this free time just to like make whatever we want. This is crazy. But now, like 2 years later, I think it's a really good thing that we're not just like, oh, sweet, like finally this music's coming out. This is like all we've been living for. It's like at this point we've, kind of continued to evolve, and like I'm still super proud of this record, and like this is really like the first like band I've been in that's like been super focused and like trying to like really like create a discography of music and stuff. So like just looking back on it, I feel like it's really cool to have like a positive response about it. But at the same time, like I think this band is a band because we just love making new stuff. So it's like it's kind of one foot in the past, but also like at the same time we're like, oh, that old thing, like we did that 2 years ago. Like I'm ready to do the next thing. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense. So is there any meaning behind this EP title or cover art?
The cover art, I mean, the title came from the song Bonnaroo, which I feel like the whole EP in itself kind of it's kind of chronological. I feel like the songs that we wrote, and it's more like both of our experiences kind of got into it, I guess, but of this like just feeling like you're out of a relationship or some like ending that became toxic or whatever, and then kind of just the rebuilding and the aftermath of that, and trying to figure out like who you are post thinking who you were was attached to somebody else. So I think If You Were a Stranger, we just felt like Bonnaroo was kind of that was chapter one, for lack of better words.
So that was the first song we ever wrote together.
Yeah. So
I wasn't even writing any songs at all. I just like made some solo music for fun, but primarily I'm just like a hired drummer in Nashville. So like my job is just to play drums for other people. And it was the middle of the pandemic, and Hank was like, hey man, do you want to come over and write a song? And I was like, ew, like we're going to talk about our feelings and make a song together. And then so like the first time we hung out to like, we've known each other for a while, just playing in different bands. But the first time we like hung out, I was like Hank was just like, yeah, let's write, it'll be fun. And I'm like, yeah, man, I don't know. So we ended up like making like an emo cover of Teenage Dream by Katy Perry. Oh, but we had so much fun. We were just like, we had nothing going on. So we're like, that's so fun. And then Hank was kind of like, all right, so you know what we did today? We can do that again, but this time it'll be a song that we write together. And I was like, oh, okay, that'll be cool. So that ended up being Bonnaroo. So
yeah. So I guess it was just the first thing that came to us, or the first song that was.
Yeah, but I guess Bonnaroo felt like kind of like the frame, like the picture frame of the EP. So it made sense that take like a line that felt poignant from that song and make that kind of like the EP title. Mm-hmm. And the artwork, that's just an area of town. It's called Wedgwood, Houston. It's kind of like an industrial area in Nashville, which now is like blowing up into like the super hipster expensive place. But it's just this like weird lab that like at night there's like, I don't know if it's like a printing lab or something, but there's this one window that's cool. So we just kind of ran across it, and our buddy Aaron Miller, who's a great photographer, he just took a bunch of photos of us, and we thought that should be the cover. So nice. That's the story of the cover.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I wish we had like more of a colorful story for y'all of that. Really, as far as the picture goes, we were just like, yeah, that's cool. That was like
it's cool, yeah.
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 Fair enough.
Believe it or not, that's most of the stories for like the cover.
Yeah.
It's like we thought this picture was cool, so yeah.
Why not?
Right.
Yeah. So can you guys tell us a little bit about your writing process for the CP?
Yeah. For this process, a lot of these songs started out as me and Hank just getting together, and we would either go on his back porch or we would be at my house, and we would just kind of start. A lot of times it was just an acoustic guitar, and we just kind of pick the tuning that we liked. Hank definitely has introduced me to a lot of different alternative tunings. Nothing crazy, but just stuff that like for me, like I wasn't really playing very much guitar, but there's like it's kind of more accessible just to be able to move a certain shape up and down the fretboard. So I would like have a guitar too and kind of like feel somewhat included. And we would just like find a chord progression that we felt inspired by. And then that's kind of where the song started for us, was just like, I don't know, just like sweating on someone's porch, basically.
Yeah. It was just it was very,
It was really
I
sweaty.
think honestly, we don't have like, I wish that there was more of a template. I think that whatever the song is, or whatever we feel like the song calls for, whether it's like a track first or a part first or like a title or something. But I think that it all like kind of flows around just the two of us in a room with a guitar. I think we like doing that the most.
Makes sense.
For sure. So I want you two to tell us your favorite lyric off this EP and what it means to you.
Damn.
Ooh, that's a oh man.
I wish I got this before. I would have like totally thought. I'll let you take this one first, man. I need to like think on this one.
I like the in Tell Emma, there's just like a little like it's light a cigarette and paint my nails black. And that was just a line I threw out in that song because like Hank had his nails painted and he smokes. I smoked at the time too. So I was kind of just like making fun of him in the right. It was just us and our friend, but I was like, it like totally fit the rhyme scheme and everything. And it was just kind of funny. I don't know. Like that one sticks out to me.
That's good.
The last song in the EP that like isn't going to be a single is the song called Help You Unpack. And there is a line in it that's like, I wish you the best, or it was, I love how I can't remember the line that we wrote. Essentially it was like, into the house we built that I have to unpack. And it was about me being in this relationship with this person. Like our house was like all of our memories. And when that kind of fizzled, she moved out. And so I was living in this like shell of what was our relationship. So I was like kind of having to unpack all that shit that she left.
Damn.
Both like literally and metaphorically. So
ouch.
My favorite lyric is the funny one. It's like
I totally left turned us.
Sorry.
I was like, yeah, we were making fun.
You're good.
So would you guys be able to tell us where Headspace is at while you guys are writing this EP?
Ooh. I mean, it was kind of something that maybe I feel like I didn't take for granted, because I feel like sometimes it's easy to look back on certain times in your life and be like, that was an amazing period of time. And like, I wish I would have really appreciated it. But I feel like even in the moment, we were kind of just savoring. I know this is like kind of a cliche when you're talking about like musicians talking about the pandemic and what it did. Mm-hmm. And obviously there's a lot of really negative things about it that continue. But there was a really cool thing, which is like, we really did get to like have this weird luxury of getting to just kind of like fully envelop ourselves in this writing process, you know, and like getting to make this music. And like, I'm realizing now that like, you know, we've kind of continued, you know, with this band, and it's, you know, taking up more of our time in our lives. It's like, I'm realizing how much we were able to give to it because we didn't have to really give to anything else. And like, I just loved how it was like this weird little world. Like even listening back to this stuff, it's like, I'm like, oh, I remember like where we were when we were doing all this. And it was like really special. And like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to have an experience like being that locked into making a record again, unless it's like go into the mountains for 2 months and make an album, which in that case, you're like crushing it and you can afford to do that. So I really, I don't even know if I kind of forgot what the question was.
Well, the question was Headspace, and I think you nailed it.
I was going to say,
you got it.
I started freestyling.
I just second that. Honestly, I don't even really remember. The Headspace I feel like was not that good. There's parts of me that like looked back and sees growth from like where I was then, and like how I don't know, I just like just how I viewed what was going on in my world. So I think it's cool to like see how I'm detached from it, but also, you know, it's still there.
Yeah,
makes sense.
So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this EP for the first time? Should they play it in the car with friends, start with headphones on? Should they blast at a party, work out to it? What do you guys personally recommend? My thing is going on drives. Like I think that's how I like write. That's how I enjoy other music. But like
most of the time, like that's kind of my thinking space. I feel like is when I'm on a drive or just alone in my car. So,
Yeah.
and I think this EP was kind of made around that scene.
Yeah, gas was so cheap during the pandemic. We would
Yeah.
just like check
Yes,
all of our mixes. We'd be like, well, we made this song. Like, let's make sure it sounds good in the car.
Oh
Yeah.
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 That was, I think the car definitely. I don't know. The next stuff, I'm not sure. The next stuff I think might be more, it might be car/airplane. It might, maybe we're going to graduate.
Airplane.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Actually, maybe not, because anytime I listen to like music on the airplane, I'm like half asleep and not really listening to it.
Yeah.
So maybe that's good. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll see.
So this question should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you guys to describe the CP for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less. Both of you have to do it.
Okay. Wait, so we have to agree on it, or we both do
3
a
words
separate-
each.
3
Separate.
words each. Okay.
I would say nostalgic. I would say gritty, and I would say vulnerable. That would be my 3 words.
Yeah, I'd say anthemic, thoughtful, catchy, hopefully.
That's good.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's perfect. Perfect. So is there a certain feeling or emotion you want this EP to invoke in your listeners?
I think, well, I don't know. I feel like there's something really special about music that makes you feel at home or like safe in a way, but also gives you like a new space to kind of roam in, and where there's like something about it that's not familiar in a good way, where it kind of feels like you're moving forward or there's something to look forward to. So I would want this to be like an EP that people can hear and it feels comfortable to them. It feels familiar, but also it's new enough to them that they can like kind of build their own picture within it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
That makes sense.
Anything to add, Axel?
I mean, I think that sounds good to me.
Perfect.
I mean, I don't know, maybe like just if it invokes a feeling, I don't feel like you get to decide this for other people. That's kind of the beauty of art, is you put it on the wall, and if people want to look at it, they can. But I find, and even annoyingly sometimes, like you get in your car or you're like, I'm going to listen to music, and then you just keep listening to like the same things because you don't really like, even if you find new stuff, there's just certain stuff that feels like, you know, like a pair of shoes that you're like, oh, those are, I like those Converse, like those make sense. Like,
Yeah.
I hope, even if it's not like, it doesn't matter how many people, it's just like, if our music becomes that for anybody, where it's like their go-to like comfort food, you know, it's like, that's like such an honor. So
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
So what is your favorite memory that you guys made while creating this EP?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think for me, one of my favorite memories was just writing Tell Emma.
Yeah.
So that was like it wasn't the second song we wrote, but it was pretty soon after Bonnaroo. And for me, I hadn't really done a ton of co-writing. So at first it was just like Hank kind of pulling me out of my shell to write songs with him. And then he brought us into a studio with our friend Lewis Johnson, who's also an amazing artist and writer. And I was really nervous, to be honest, because it's like you're like being vulnerable in a space, and like Hank's like, you know, a full-time songwriter, and I'm just like some random drummer. And there's this guy that's like really cool, obviously. And I was like, man, like this is crazy. But then we just ended up like having a really good time, and it felt like, oh, like we're just hanging out. And if we make a song that we all really love, it's like amazing. And I just remember that being like kind of like an eye-opening, like, oh, this is like a really cool thing that I hope we get to do more. So that's like one of my favorite memories.
I'm trying to think. I mean, yeah, I would agree with that day. I mean, also like I think for me it's more like the time in between of like writing and making the record, of just like kind of us killing time. Like for some reason we love to go to the lake that summer. Like we would go to the lake a bunch. We spent a lot of time there, more than I think I probably ever will for the rest of my life. But
it's like not even it's not even a good lake. It's like
yeah, it's like but it was yeah, it was like it became like a haven for us a little bit. Like we would, yeah, it was good. It was really good. So I think that's probably my favorite memory.
Yeah, we live in Nashville, Tennessee, so in the summer all the lakes just get really warm and kind of gross. I don't know where you guys are based, but it's like lakes around here are not necessarily the best, but we're like, yeah, guess we're gonna go to the lake.
Yeah.
Chill at the lake. Yeah. I'm in New Jersey, so we got the ocean.
I'm
Okay,
in
yeah.
Virginia,
I like that.
so, yeah, also the
There you
ocean.
Significantly better.
Yeah.
I
A little bit, but we have some bad lakes too, so it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
You-
respectfully.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Perfect.
No offense again.
So for this question, I want you to picture you guys are on tour. You're at a gas station for a rest stop. You're going in. What is your snack of choice?
Ooh,
Mm.
cheddar Chex Mix
Oh,
and a Gatorade Zero.
there you go. Banger. That's good. That's good.
Fuck.
I can answer yours, but I'm gonna make you say it yourself.
See, I get weird shit at the gas station. I actually always like mix, like I'm always like getting like peanuts or like beef jerky or something like. But like I feel like if I was like
Slim
if I was high
Oh,
and we stopped, then I would get like high chews
that's good.
and I love Coke, so I would get
Mhm.
Coke, and then I'm trying to think of something chocolate. Probably like fuck no, I'm just gonna keep it high chews and Coke. That's it. That's my stamp.
All
that's
right.
good.
Sounds
Love
good. So on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be and why?
Ooh,
Mm.
I think just chips and queso. Actually,
Yeah.
no. You're supposed to say. I think we're like maybe like a single source lamb chop. Like
Yeah.
jelly.
Real elegant.
To hype it up. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like a plate of really expensive sushi. No, I mean I don't know. I think we love like I don't know
I feel like it. I don't know.
a pitcher of margaritas and some chips with
Yeah.
friends. I
Yeah.
think that's what
Oh,
I think
it is.
chips, queso, and margaritas. That would be it.
but with a brooding twist.
Oh. Perfect. All right, I'll take it. So for these last couple questions, we're actually going to shift away from music, if that's okay with you guys.
That's totally fine.
Great. So we're actually going to go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Oh, okay.
Is this a food podcast?
Yeah.
Some may
Is
say.
it
No.
if it was my last meal, I actually feel like I just had this conversation not so long ago. Shit,
It's kind of a tough.
that is a tough one. I'd probably say like Baja Burrito. There's a place in
That's good.
town in Nashville that's like it's called Baja Burrito and it's so good. And I feel like that'd probably be what I want. Their fruit tea and like a taco salad from there.
That
Okay.
sounds very
The
good.
salad. I like the
I thought-
salad right before death.
Yeah. I mean, dude, whoever I'm gonna see after the fact, I must like I gotta at least like, cut some pounds off. Might as well take a salad before I go.
You said Baja Burrito, and I got a little worried that like the people who made like Baja Blast had like a burrito thing going. I was
no,
very
no, no.
Mountain
scared.
Dew burritos. Oof.
No.
Bro,
It's a
I-
I know that
that's-
comes out of a soda.
That's
Ah,
probably-
that's foul. It's rank.
I feel like for my last meal, like I'd either want to get like way too heady with it and be like, I wouldn't have a last meal because like I would be defiant. But like I would probably want, but I can't like I would probably want like I would want my mom to make me lasagna.
Oh,
but then that's like
that's
sad
sweet.
because then you're like thinking about like childhood and stuff, and then just like a handle of Everclear.
Jesus.
Kill me. Who cares?
Right. Oh my God. Everclear might get you before the
I know,
Yeah,
right?
however
I
you
was about
decide
to
to
say,
get
the whole
put
bottle.
down. Right. Jesus.
All right.
Yeah.
So if you could live in one fiction world for a week, where would you live?
Ooh.
Oh, dude, I would live in like this is actually I don't know, this might be morbid, but I love the Halloween series, like the OG Halloween series, like the not
Yeah,
the new Jamie Lee Curtis, but like the old. I would love to just be a part of Haddonfield, Illinois, and just be in that like little, suburb. And it's always just seemed so quaint.
Nice.
Do you
Yeah.
think you'd survive?
Fuck, I don't think so. No, I'd be gone. I don't think. Yeah, I would just be enjoying it.
Enjoying your death?
No, just enjoying the neighborhood and how cute it is. And then when he'd come out, I'd be like, oh shit, like this happens too.
Forgot.
But I just
Yeah.
Oh,
Michael, this
man.
isn't you.
no, yeah.
I'd probably like want to like be in Bug's Life, just like turn into a
Oh.
bug.
That's actually a good.
And
one.
I would just
like
turn
that one.
animated and just like fly around in Bug's
I
Life.
love that
Yeah.
one.
Like
Yeah.
that'd be good.
That'd be
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah.
I like that. So I have the honor of asking the last question. Every single person we've spoken to has actually said it is the most important question.
Okay.
What is your favorite color?
Oh, okay.
What's our band's favorite color?
Yeah, is this is a like two answers, right? Both of our answers.
Yeah.
Not just
Yeah,
a
yeah,
group.
yeah.
I just don't have to agree on this one.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna say orange.
Oh, yep. That's good.
I'm gonna say like dark blue. That would be mine.
Ooh,
That's good.
that's good.
Good.
That's good.
So as Glory said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you guys would like to plug?
Check out the EP. It's coming out on December 2nd, and yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Of course.
Of course.
Well, thank you for staying with us, guys. It's been Homes at Night, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.